I was telling my oldest, because she was old enough to understand what was happening. And I said, listen, I can sit here, you know, for the next year or two, jump back in school, you know, get a solid job, have you guys on a weekend, get an apartment, a cool little car, and we can have enough to get by. I said, or I can leave for a few years and go pursue my talent and my gift and come back and we can have everything we always wanted. And I asked her, I said, what do you want? You know, because I brought her into this world selfishly in a way, you know what I mean? So there's a sense of me, a part of me that's still indebted, I feel, to her. You understand what I mean? So I asked her and she said, you know, I had my fingers crossed like a motherfucker, but she was like, I want everything I want, Daddy. Didn't even hesitate. A month later, I packed my shit, man, after the last day of school, packed my shit, decided to come to San Francisco. Escape from LA, baby, let's do it.
I'm glad this brother came to San Francisco to hone his skills. Very funny young man. The first time I ever saw him, I knew, man, funny as shit. So here we go, y'all, and I really want you guys to give it up. Very funny comic coming to us all the way from Los Angeles. Recording his CD tonight, Escape from LA. Live at the Deluxe. Give it up, y'all, for Jabari Davis. Come on, give it up.
I wanted to come to a region where I can come up here and grab a mic every motherfucking day, 2, 3 mics. And San Francisco is it. You know, this is one of the greatest developmental cities for stand-up comedy in the world, hands down. It's the only place I did 10 shows last week, from Sunday to Sunday. 7 showcases, 3 open mics, 10 shows. Come on, man, I could never get stage time like that in LA. So, you know, I came up here for a few reasons. First reason was more stage time. You know, in LA, it's Hollywood, man. You got the best of the best coming from every region to LA to grab a mic. You know, I'm from there, you know. I'm starting out. Probably hands down the worst place to start out as a comedian and the best place to start out as a comedian. You know what I'm saying? The worst place because you're not going to get any recognition. You're not going to get any stage time. You know what I'm saying? You'll get 3 minutes here. You'll get a showcase every now and again. You're going to have to learn how to politic, kiss a lot of ass, bullshit your way to the top. And that's a skill that's needed to develop in this business. You know what I'm saying? So that's the bad part about it. But the good part about it is you get a chance to see Hollywood. You get a chance to see the end result. You see motherfuckers who started off like you at open mics, you know what I'm saying, shit in the whole clubs, you know, getting 2 minutes at the Comedy Store. You've seen those people and seen what it did for them 10 years later. So there's hope there. You know what I mean? But for me, I had a different pressure behind me. My shit wasn't about waiting and development. My shit was about seizing opportunities. You know what I mean? And it was about destiny. And destiny can't be controlled or, you know, it can't be slowed down. It has to be seized.
Yeah, what it do, Deluxe? That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. This time last year, man, I was doing bad, y'all. I was doing bad. I was living in my mama's garage. Real talk. Sleeping on a blow-up air mattress. Next to a Honda Civic, y'all. If I overslept, I would have died of exhaust poisoning. It's fucked up, man. My lady left me, man. She kicked me out of her mama house. It's fucked up, man. When we first got married, man, the plan was like to live with my mother-in-law for a couple of months to save up and buy a house. You feel me? The American dream. Those couple of months turned into 8 years. I got caught in the comfort zone, man. You know? She made good waffles, my mother-in-law did. Homemade cinnamon waffles, man. It was like Roscoe's chicken and waffles at the house. I challenge any man to go to work after breakfast like that. I'm sleeping in. I started a home-based business so I can have an excuse to stay home. I'm faxing phone orders to my mother-in-law in the front. Like, what's for lunch? I hope you're making Swiss steak again. I got lazy, y'all. I got caught up in the comfort zone, man. It was crazy. It fucked me up. But when she left me, man, the crazy thing about it, like, she thought she was doing something, y'all. She thought she was doing something, really, by kicking me out of her mother's house. See, luckily for me, my mom lived up the street. Bitch, I'll just go back home. Since you want to pull the mom card, I always liked my mom better than your mom anyway.
That's the irony of being a player. You know, growing up, you know, having charisma and being smooth with words, you know, being able to take advantage and use Jedi mind tricks on women. You tend to play yourself in the end. And I think that's what Escape from LA is a lot about as well when I talk about being a player and, you know, I talk about playing myself. You know, at the end of the day, the joke was on me. And I think that's what this set kind of says. You know, it's me going back collectively telling stories about how kind of I was playing myself the whole way through.
You ever hear that phrase, like, when it rains, it pours? Like, that shit is for real, right? I ended up at my mom's house. Then I got my little 280Z impounded because I found out I had a suspended license. So now I'm stuck in my mom's with no car, teaching at my old high school at the time, teaching Spanish. I don't speak Spanish.
When you're teaching high school kids, you have to be quick and insightful at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It has to be short and sweet. You might have to make them laugh to understand what the fuck you're trying to get them to say. So I was developing this skill as a comic even more, you know what I'm saying, refining it when I was substitute teaching, you know, to get somebody's attention. You know, this big kid who's obviously gang banged out, doesn't give a fuck. You know, trying to get him to do something. You know, I can say something in a reverse psychology way with some humor to it and bam, I got him. You know, so I started to realize that the power of words mixed with humor, being insightful and funny, like, okay, I can mix the two. You know, I went through my funny stage and I went through my deep stage and now it's the hybrid.
I was just substituting. I took the first job coming, like, yeah. I told the principal I studied in Argentina. Then she found out I didn't speak Spanish. She was like, well, you said you studied abroad. I'm like, no, I know some Argentinians that speak Spanish, and they live next door. Did you believe? Teaching Spanish, man, and my mom, you know what I'm saying, living in my mama's house, man, it was a fucked up situation. And the crazy part about it was, this is my old high school, and I didn't have no car, you feel me? And I guarantee, this time last year, y'all, I had to be the only teacher in the state of California getting dropped off at work by his moms. Nigga, that shit hurt. You feel me? I'm trying to convince her to pull on the back street because I got the key and shit. You know, she want to be moms and shit. Like, no, I'm going to pull up in the front. Make sure you're on time. Kids looking at me like, nigga, Mr. Davis, that's your mom? I'm like, nah, homie, that's my business partner, homie. We in business together. It ain't even that serious.
You know, all the doubts were going through my mind at the time. Like, damn, I should have got my credential. I should have got a master's. Why didn't I pursue this shit? I had years to do it. I could have a career to fall back on. I didn't have any career to fall back on. Got this broker's license. The real estate game crashed. You know, like all these things had failed. And now here I am back square one, substitute teaching with college kids who had just graduated. And I'm like, I had been there and done that. Why am I back to square one, living in my mom's house, you know, with a suspended license? But the thing is, man, I realized that sometimes you have to lose everything to find yourself. And I think that's what happened to me.
Ladies, when you leave a man, don't look good after the fact, you feel me? Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, she would drop my kids off looking good as fuck on a Friday to me because my car was impounded, you feel me? So she dropped the kids off looking all good, you know, then come back and pick them up on Sunday, you know what I'm saying, hella happy. And all I can think about from Friday to Saturday to Sunday afternoon was her fucking another man, you feel me? That was the only thing on my mind. Like, to the point where it consumed me. I couldn't even enjoy my kids. My 4-year-old wanna watch the Never-Ending Story and shit, and I flash on her. Like, man, fuck Atreyu. I don't give a fuck about Falcor or none of them. The nothing is not coming. There is another man coming in your mama right now. It's bigger issues. What the fuck are you talking about? And then she show up on Sunday and shit, hella happy. And be mad at me, you know what I'm saying, for being mad. Like, what are you so upset for? And I'm like, cuz, bitch, you out sucking dick all weekend? We stuck here without a car, you could at least leave us the car? Your new man ain't got a car, goddamn. Then my 4-year-old looking up at me like, nigga, what happened to you? You used to be a legend. Now you gotta ask your mama to take us to the liquor store? Ah, damn, this time last year was a motherfucking pain. Woo!
And it was a really depressing time. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was a really depressing time because, you know, my car had got impounded, my license had got suspended. You know, I'm teaching around the corner at my old high school, you know, getting paid once a month, teacher salary. So I'm broke, basically. You know what I'm saying? I get my kids on the weekend, not being able to really take them to do anything because I can't drive. I'm not going to inconvenience my mom by asking her to use her car. So all we're basically able to do is just, you know, walk around the fucking neighborhood. You know, I walk them to the park. You know, I'll scrape up a couple bucks and go buy them a treat. You know what I'm saying? We'll go to the store and get some ice cream and get some gummy bears and shit and get a honey bun, you know, and we'll walk around. We'll take walks. I just had to make adventure out of nothing because I didn't have anything. And I didn't want to see my kids like that, man. It pushed me in such a deep depression, you know, but after months of doing that shit, I started to appreciate the little shit, just spending time with them and how I was the only brother walking around the fucking neighborhood with his kids. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I stood out. You know, people were looking at me like, at first I felt weird, but now it's like, hey, they honking the horn. Hey, Jabari, what's up? I got my girls. Yeah, we walking to the park. You know what I mean? Fuck it, I'm with my kids. It is what it is. I ain't got no car, but we got each other.
I'm in San Francisco now, nigga, eating muffins and talking to white girls. I don't give a fuck. I mean, when I first came up to this bitch, I was walking up and down Fillmore just happy and waving at motherfuckers. God, man, it's a beautiful place, man. I was hitting the liquor store. I hit the liquor store the first time out here and I freaked out, man. I tripped because they had like white girls in liquor stores. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to buy blunts, a white girl in the back buying Parliaments. Like, really? Like, damn, this shit is amazing. I'm from the hood in LA. You know what I mean? Like having a white girl come into your liquor store is like seeing a unicorn on the street. The shit just don't happen. You feel me? I'm looking behind me in line like, Pegasus? Is that you? You don't see shit like that, man. It's real open-minded, man. I love this.
Growing up in Altadena, growing up in Pasadena, it's just, you know, it's so small. You know what I mean? When you get to the gist of it, it's so small, and then it's divided up by gangs and shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an Altadena dude, supposedly you're a Crip. You're already affiliated with Crip. If you live in Pasadena, there's a lot of different bloods out there. They got Raymond Crips, and then you got the SAs, you know, the Filler Boys, the PLKs, and all that shit. Then you got Armenians on the other side of town. It's like Russian Mafia. You know, they carry Uzis and eat baklava. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this shit is crazy. You feel me? It's the most diverse, craziest shit happening, which is good, but I live on the northwest side. You know, I live on the northwest side of town. It's not, you know, you think Pasadena, you know, you think Rose Parade, you think the Rose Bowl game, you think roses, you think happy times, you know, but there's a side of that town that's not so happy. You know what I'm saying? I never been to the Rose Parade, you know, but I have paraded behind the casket with roses, you know what I'm saying? More than a few times, you know, and that was my thing, like, my world had become so small.
Like, I'm from LA, there's a lot of gangbang, a lot of Bloods and Crips, crazy shit. And like, I really didn't, you know, I didn't really have to seek that sort of lifestyle out, really, to tell you the truth. It's just that my parents didn't have that income to have me in a peaceful environment, you feel me? And I was actually, you know, I came from a good home. You know, I was raised vegetarian, you know, parents were from Panthers, you know what I'm saying? They grew up in this black conscious, health conscious movement. So I was like this healthy, smart dude in the middle of the hood. The shit did not work out, believe me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that vegetarian thug, you feel me? Fucked up, man. It was crazy, man. I know the homies that they used to come to the house, man, like really like clown me all the time because I had the healthy snacks. Like they thought it was real interesting and shit. They never, you know, they never saw stuff like that. You feel me? Like they come to the house, and I lived in Crip neighborhood. So they would come to the house clowning me like, look at this bitch ass motherfucker with banana chips. You raw cash, you eating ass motherfucking you ain't shit, homie. But I remember one time, man, my mom's came home with a bag of blue organic tortilla chips. Like this was like late 80s, man, like Ruffles was still at its peak. Nobody had seen anything like this before. You feel me? And they came over to do their regular routine, and they stumbled across the bag of blue chips. And it was like, damn, cuz, nigga, you got blue chips? You a Crip for real, homie? Like there was some kind of Crip prophecy or some shit. Like the prophecy read, he will be a Crip because he will eat blue chips. Like I was the Neo of Crippin', you know what I mean? Like, really? I was a bitch yesterday with the banana chips though, right? These fools judging my gang affiliation by my snacks and shit, you know what I mean? I ain't even got put on yet, you know, I'm still like submitting my resumes. You know, I don't know if I want to be a Blood or a Crip yet. Weighing my options. They judging my gang affiliation by my snacks. I was just about to offer these fools some red vines, though. Cause that's like my true snack, you feel me? They would've tripped the fuck out like, hold on, cuz you can't eat blue chips and red vines, nigga. You gotta choose, homie, you a mark. Where's your loyalty to the set, cuz?
Not only did they take on the movement, you know what I'm saying, black consciousness, but they took on health consciousness because that was a part of black progression as well. You know, we're free now. We're more intelligent now. Therefore, we don't have to eat scraps that slave masters give us. We don't have to eat like slaves no more. You know what I'm saying? We can eat healthy. You know, so my parents were revolutionaries in that sense. You know, we were raised vegetarian. I was raised vegan. You know, I didn't eat eggs and shit till I was like 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? I didn't taste the burger meat for the first time till I was like maybe 7. You know, and I was raised vegan, man. I was eating Cheerios and water. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. My brother worked at Burger King. He was the first dude to order the veggie Whopper. You know what I mean? That was like 79. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we was raised vegetarian with an African name, you know, in Los Angeles. You know, when I went to live with my father for a while, my parents separated. It was the most awkward thing because we had moved to South Central, 77th and Raymond Avenue, went to Raymond Avenue Elementary. And at that time in the 80s, you know, black consciousness had faded out and being a nigga had came in. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, nigga, you know, yeah, fuck that Jamal and Dashiki shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm Jerome with a Jerry Curl selling crack. You know what I'm saying? So it was a different dichotomy that had came in terms of black people. So I was like a Panther baby, the last of an era. You understand what I'm saying? The last of an era that had a Swahili name that still represented the revolution. So when you're in class, I became the weirdo because I had the African name eating a Boca burger in 79. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm progressive. Being progressive black made me weirdo. And over time, I became embarrassed of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I hated being Jabari. I didn't want people to know my middle name was Baraka. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want people to know that we celebrated Kwanzaa. You know what I'm saying? We was the first family celebrating Kwanzaa. You know what I'm saying? First families going to the health food store. You know, I was embarrassed of all this shit. And my rebellion away from being embarrassed for this shit was hanging out with what I wasn't. So I started being attracted to, you know, gangbanging niggas and, you know what I'm saying, other motherfuckers who was into that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck being that black shit. I wanted to be a nigga. You feel me? Cause that's like freedom. You can do what the fuck you want. You shoot at motherfuckers, hang out, nigga, fuck your people, sell some crack, nigga, that shit fun. Right? I mean, oddly enough, when you're raised in a conscious household, being a nigga can become attractive.
That's some ignorant shit though, man. You know what's funny though, man? The funny thing about gangbanging, man, you know, it's like, I was like a summertime banger. Like, I was one of those dudes that like just did the shit in the summertime, you feel me? Cause like my parents didn't have like the income to send me to summer camp. You feel me? Like other kids was like at summer camp, you know, singing camp songs and eating s'mores and shit. I'm at the park hanging out with niggas that couldn't read, you know what I mean? Cooking crack and shooting at motherfuckers, you feel me? Like, it was a great summer though. It was filled with excitement and joy, you know what I mean? It was great. The only thing about this shit is like, I only did the shit in the summer, and there were other dudes that actually did that shit for life. They took it serious, you know what I mean? And like every now and again, that shit would come back on me. Like I would run into some of those fools during the fall semester, and they'd be like, yeah, you and your homies shot at us. What's cracking now? And I had to like break it down and explain it to them. Like, look, dude, this is fall semester. I only do this shit in the summertime, homie. Actually, I'm on my way to college, actually. Catch me maybe next summer, homie, if you still alive. You know what I mean? We'll shoot it out then. I have a future, motherfucker. I'm just doing this shit to be cool. You was always better with signs than you were with letters. Everybody knows that shit. You doing this shit because you can't read, Laurente. It's crazy though, man. Like gangbanging though, man. Gangbanging on the real, man. Now I got older and I had a chance to like look back on the shit on the homies I lost and just, you know, the loss that you suffer from it. I started to look at it and I saw a movie called Hotel Rwanda. You guys all seen that shit. And it made me realize like gangbanging is genocide with swagger though. Like for real, think about it though. You know, like we're not out there with the cut-off jean shorts. I mean, at least we got the courtesy to wear the crispy white t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? Nice hairline, bumping Tupac. Doing this shit with swag. You know, it made me think, like, really like to compare, like, if gangbanging started the way genocide started in Africa, there would be no Bloods and Crips right now, like, hands down, for real. Like, I can only imagine if the big homie stepped to me one day like, Hey, cuz, you want to be from the set? Then show up tomorrow with some cut-off jean shorts. No shoes, no shirt, none of that, homie. Let your hair grow for a month. And then come on back and we're gonna run up and down Crenshaw with these machetes. I would have been like, what? Cut off jean shorts? Machetes on Crenshaw, nigga? Come on, homie. I was only doing this shit to be cool and get bitches. I got a better chance of getting some pussy if I went back to school and joined the chess club. Cut off jean shorts? Really? For real? Rusty ass knives? No gun, huh? No gun? None of that, huh? No Chuck Taylors? Okay. All right, I understand.
You know, I got to give a lot of thanks to just how I was brought up, you know, just my background. You know, my mother's from San Francisco. You know, my father's from Fresno. You know, my parents met in San Francisco, you know, back in the 70s, you know. And at a time when it was black power, it was black nationalism, the Black Panthers were around, you know what I'm saying? My parents and rubbed shoulders with Panthers, you know, real shit, you feel me? We're all about the movement, you know. My mother and my father both changed their names to Swahili names. You know, I was raised with I had a naming ceremony, you know, when I was born. I had a naming ceremony, you know. They adopted the traditions so much, you know. When I was born, they took 10 days before they named me, right? And then they had a big ceremony when they had people come out, and the whole process is you take 10 days and then you pick a Swahili name with meaning that fits the character of this baby and that gives this baby something to aspire to in its quest of life. You understand what I'm saying? So you wait 10 days, you pick a name, you invite everybody out in the community. And I still have pictures, my mom has pictures of all this shit. Invite everybody out to the community. You got people coming out in kente garb, you know. You have a griot that comes out, African storyteller, tells stories. You got drummers there, you know. They read your chart, your astrological sign. The whole community takes an oath to watch this child as it's raised, and they present the name to the community. And then there's a big ass party and feast afterwards. You know, I had that, you know, in the middle of the hood in Pasadena. I was the first Simba before the Lion King, you know what I'm saying? They held me up and the cops drove by with the sirens on, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, this was my life. So subconsciously, psychologically, when you grow up, and my name is Jabari Baraka. Jabari means fearless in Swahili, Baraka means proud blessing. So, you know, subconsciously that plays on you, you know, growing up entrenched in this culture, you know what I'm saying? Black pride, so to speak, you know. Knowing about your history, you know, knowing about Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, W.B. Du Bois, Kwame Ture. I've met so many people, you know. I've had so many books signed. You know, my mom used to take me to book readings, you know. We would go to the museum. She didn't have money, so she would take us to go eat Chinese food. I learned how to use chopsticks when I was 4. You know what I'm saying? I was Bruce Leroy's boy, you know. It's like, you know, I was cultured.
Life is a motherfucker, man. It's a good thing though, man. It's a good thing, man. It's crazy, man. I had one of those mothers, man, that was like really into like grades and academics, and I loved her for that shit, man. I did. You know, I came from a good home, you know. It was crazy. And being from a good home, like, kind of made me like a good home gangbanger. You feel me? Like, I was one of those dudes that actually had parents that wanted me to do my homework and shit. Had to take care of my business before I went and represented for the set. You feel me? I had like rules and regulations from good homes, you know what I mean? I remember the homies came through one night, man. One of the homies got shot, and the homie came through knocking on my back window, and he was like, "Hey, we meet up at the park. Be up there in an hour." And I'm like, "Dude, man, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't." He like, "Nigga, what's up, homie? Be up there in an hour." They shot the homie. I'm like, "Man, I can't go." And he like, "Why not?" And I'm like, "Nigga, cause I'm on punishment, homie." And he didn't understand that shit. He was like, "Nigga, what punishment? Nigga, what? Who your parole officer, homie?" My mom's and my dad, nigga, they strict. He was like, "Man, having parents is fucked up, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, it is, man. I wish I had a drunk grandma like you, homie. Then I can fuck up patrol and go to jail, nigga. That's just gonna be fun, cuz." Nah, that's not right, that's not right. Comedy saved my life, y'all. Comedy's the only reason for real that I got off cocaine, man. For real, I've been sober, man, for about a year or something now, man. Not all the way added up, though. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not like all the way sober, you know what I mean? My drug counselor called me, man, a couple months ago, shit, when I first got up here. And she was like, no, what are you doing to stay sober? You know, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good, everything's cool. She's like, what are you doing, you know? I'm like, just working out a lot, you know? She's like, okay, what else? I'm like, I'm doing comedy a lot. She's like, well, anything else? I'm like, yeah, I'm smoking a lot of weed. And she was like, yeah, well, Jabari, you know, you're smoking weed, so you're not sober. I'm like, yeah, but I went to rehab for cocaine, not weed, so you know what I mean? Like, you feel me? I went for the game, you know what I'm saying? I'll be cush. We grew up celebrating Kwanzaa, nigga. Weed was passed when you was 7. Weed is not my problem. I remember the first time I went to rehab too, y'all. I went to rehab twice, right? The first time I went with the wrong intentions, you know what I'm saying? I went to rehab the first time, to be honest, because I was looking for like some like celebrity clientele, you know what I mean? I knew with the hairline and the swagger, I can get at least Lindsay Lohan to relapse. Apparently, she doesn't use Kaiser though. I had no idea.
All of that, man, it was a culmination, man. I mean, it was like 8 years. I did so many things in 8 years. I had a music publishing company. Later on, me and my father actually invested some money. I walked away from teaching. My second daughter was born. I thought I was gonna be the next Puffy. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man, I had a couple of businesses. You know, I started a real estate company. I got my broker's license. I'm a licensed real estate broker in the state of California, right? As soon as I got my license, the market crashed. So it was kind of like, hey guys, I'm here. And they're like, hey, yo, it's over. So from there, man, I started selling cocaine. I didn't want to go back to teaching. I had 2 kids living in my mother-in-law's house, started selling cocaine to rich trust fund kids, man. It was my first time being introduced to that life. I had infiltrated a college. I had positioned myself in a local college cafe and got to hanging out, met one person, met another person. By Thursday, I was invited to a party, brought some yay. Next thing you know, voila, I'm the man, I'm the yay man. So I did that for about a year and a half. But I got strung out on my own shit because I'm a social butterfly. So, you know, I'm selling all this coke, and I'm like, you guys are having so much fun, I'll be back, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up snorting coke, man, with a couple of white girl clients of mine that were really nice friends of mine. I cut it up on a Victorian mirror in a Delta Gamma sorority house. It was fantastic. And I was only using cocaine because I was so infused in the lifestyle. You know, I become the shit, you know what I'm saying? I sold it all these new people that I was around. I had so much money, I was so carefree. It was an escape away from my hood. You know, it was an escape away from the regular shit. Here I am getting girls are throwing me keys to their Audi and shit. Like, just take it for the weekend, Jay. I'm like, cool, here's your 8-ball, Sarah. And I pretty much turned myself out, and then I had to go to rehab.
I remember the second time I went to rehab though, man, I was serious this time, you feel me? I got deep into the shit, fucking around. I remember I snorted coke the first time, to be honest. I was hanging out with a lot of my white friends. It's kind of kicking it. We'll hang out every now and again. And one night they called me and they was like, Jay, you want to party? And I'm like, yeah, I'll party with you, homie, I'll party. But see, I didn't know partying to them meant snorting 100 lines. That was code word, I had no idea. And I ain't no bitch either. You feel me? I ain't gonna let some white boy line up some shit, turn them down like, nigga, hold on, homie. I'm gonna snort this. So we snorting this shit, and I'm like, damn, this shit's actually pretty good. My homie Chaz, he's all, excited, like, yeah, you like that, don't you, Jay? I'm like, yeah, I do. He was proud because he broke down my black virgin nostrils and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like fucking a white girl but snorting it, huh, Jay? Snort this bitch. I was snorting that night, man, and I was like, damn, man, this shit is like, I might have a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm real. I know when I might have a problem. So I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I'm one of those dudes that likes to solve his problems in advance, right? So I had my buddy Chaz cut me another line. And I went straight to the phone book, you feel me? Because I was looking for rehab facilities like right now. And I called this one rehab place, and they're like, New Beginnings Rehab? And I'm like, yeah, my name's Jabari. I just snorted a couple of lines of coke with my white friends, and I don't really know what the fuck to do. And they're like, well, listen, just come on down right now. We have a brand new facility. 30 days you'll be sober. I'm like, really? They're like, 30 days you'll be sober, sir, or your money back. I'm like, damn, that shit sounds good. But I'm thinking maybe, can you guys reserve me a bed for a couple of years down the line? Because I want to fuck my life up a little bit more. Hey, Chaz, cut me another one, homie. I got reservations. Brand new facility, nigga, with a plasma screen. Let's get this shit cracking. But it was crazy, man, because like when I first did cocaine, I got so addicted to it. I really had a new habit. And like my dilemma was I couldn't go back to the hood to like buy that shit retail. Because like that shit would have been embarrassing. You feel me? Like we don't buy cocaine in the hood. No, we don't do that shit. Like we cook that shit and make crack and sell that shit to our family members. The shit is local, you know who owes you, you know what I mean? It makes better sense. So I had a dilemma. It's like I couldn't go get a gram of coke from the homies that was selling wholesale because these fools would know I was using and the word to get out. You know, my rep would be tarnished and shit, you feel me? I don't want people to be knowing I'm fucking with the white boys and shit like that. You know, that's taboo in the hood. So I decided to become a dealer, y'all. Like, fuck that. I would not be separated from my cocaine. So instead of buying 1 gram, I'll go out and buy wholesale, like 9 ounces of the shit. Feel me? Take it back to my mama's garage, sack it all up, and sell it to myself. I'll be in the mirror cutting 8 balls and shit for myself. Cutting myself deals and shit, you feel me? Like, look, homie, I'm gonna give you 2 8 balls for $2.50. Talking back to myself like, come on, man. Hook me up, homie, hook me up. Like, look, dog, you always short, homie. You always short. I give you 2 grams for 100 and that's it. Like, come on, man, we look like family, man. You can't do no better than me. But it got worse, y'all. Like when I started getting real bad, you feel me, getting like really in debt to myself, like I started treating myself like I used to treat the white girls when I was selling. So I'm like, look, homie, your ass is 300 in the hole. You gonna owe me some head this time. So here my high ass was, trying to suck my own dick in the mirror. Come on, cuz. You know I get paid next week, nigga. Rehab is crazy though, man. You learn a lot about yourself in rehab, man. You really do. You know, it's a really interesting experience.
And when I was going through rehab, a lot of things happened. I realized I was dependent on my ex-wife at the time. You know, I became codependent on just, you know, having women do for me. You know what I'm saying? My swagger had become my downfall. You know what I'm saying? Allowing women to do shit for me. And to the point where I wasn't doing it for myself. I went to therapy and weeded out a lot of different internal issues that I had. And I, for the first time, felt like therapy was the healthiest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? I had a chance to start talking. And I took 3 months off from comedy. And by the time I came back, I was this new person. I was speaking about cocaine. I was speaking about using drugs. I was speaking about being unhappy in my marriage. I was speaking about all the shit that I tried. In essence, I was cashing in on my failures.
You know, the crazy part about it is they make you like confront the fact that you have an addiction every day by introducing yourself a certain way. So like every day I'll have to stand in front of a group of people and be like, how you doing? My name's Jabari. Cocaine's my drug of choice. 60 days sober. Now after 60 days of introducing yourself like that, y'all, your introduction is never the same, man. I remember when I first got out of rehab, I went in for a job interview. The dude couldn't pronounce my name on my resume. He's like, what's your name, sir? How you doing? My name's Jabari. Cocaine's my drug of choice. 60 days sober, bro. He never called me back though, y'all. I'm emailing the dude and shit like, look, man, I'm sober now. I'll make a great health teacher, man. I can teach health from the other side, man. I've been there, I've done that. I got a 9-year-old daughter, man. She took me to bring daddy to school day. Like all the fathers were sitting around reading books. It's my turn to read. The teacher's all excited, like, Mr. Davis, introduce yourself. How you doing, kids? My name's Jabari. Cocaine's my drug of choice. 60 days sober, y'all. Who's ready for some Nancy Drew? And I remember this little Mexican kid named Miguel, man, he was confused, and he was like, Mr. Davis, what's cocaine? And this cute little white girl named Becky, she was like, oh, that's the nose candy mommy uses. I told my daughter, man, get her number, we going on a play date. Becky is your new best friend. I don't give a fuck about Jasmine.
But it was interesting because I had 2 kids at the time, and quitting cocaine because of them never crossed my mind. But I quit cocaine because of comedy.
You can't get hard on cocaine either, y'all. Really? I'm the only one that's gonna admit that right now, huh? Really? All these outer race people. This multicultural crowd. I had to learn that shit the hard way, man. I had to learn that shit the hard way, man. I had these 2 white girls ready to fuck, y'all. True story. True story. I'm gonna admit this right now. I had them ready to fuck, man. And I was excited, man, because I never really got a chance to fuck like white girls with trust funds. You feel me? Like, I was fucking the type of white girls that look like that bitch in Hustle and Flow. You feel me? That bitch that just happened to live in the projects on accident. No child left behind. That's who Bush was talking about saving. The white people in the projects. I would fuck with that kind of white girl, but I had a chance to fuck with some real white girls, man. The real deal, you feel me? Snow bunny, the shit you really want. The ones that buy you Air Force Ones on your birthday. They swallow your cum, you know what I mean? That's why they don't have teenage pregnancy problems, you know what I mean? Their mamas pulled them to the side like, listen, Becky, Hannah, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna swallow and go to college. End of story. The little Mexican girls and the black girls, they don't suck dick. They have babies and work at Walmart. Swallowing is the only way to succeed. It is the juice of life. It's a funny thing, man. Life is a motherfucker, man. Life is truly a motherfucker, man. I got 2 kids, man. 2 beautiful daughters, man. Beautiful daughters, man. I love my daughters, man. For real, man. It's crazy, man. Like, I didn't know I would really care for them, like, when I came in their mom. I didn't know. Had I known, I would have got attached. They would have just been on a, piece of toilet paper. You feel me? I would have did things differently. It's fucked up, man, because, like, I care, but I can't afford to, like, show that I care. I don't have no money, man. You know what I mean? And I married her mom. I married their mama, man, because I didn't want to be a baby daddy. Truth be told, I didn't want to be a baby daddy. I was like, fuck that. You feel me? I don't like your mama, but I'm going to at least marry the bitch. So when you get older, you won't just settle for getting cum in. You know what I'm saying? You'll have some standards. Daddy gonna be fine. I always keep a couple bitches on the side. I'm gonna take this one to team and marry this bro. For y'all though. For y'all standards, you feel me? I did it for my daughters, man. It wasn't about love, man. I got married for the wrong reasons, man. I was young, man. You can't, ladies, if you forcing your man to do some shit, like he doesn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like I would tell her all the time, listen, that shit is not for me. Let's just, raise our kids, title free, and not have the pressure. Because relationships get fucked up because it's the titles, fellas. It's the titles. Like I was cool at baby daddy. Because I didn't have that many expectations. They didn't even expect me to show up. They're like, wow, you're here? Shit, make him a sandwich. Are you gonna stay a while? You know what I mean? I didn't have that many expectations. I was cool. Then I fucked around and I upgraded and shit to husband level. Then expectations rose. Like, really? She expected me to do crazy shit, y'all. Like work. And she knew that I have post-traumatic slave syndrome. She knows this. How could she ask me to do some shit that's against my condition? I rebel against anything that has responsibility attached to it. I don't give a fuck. That's why I'm running now. I want to run from responsibility in this motherfucker, man. San Francisco's good for that though, man. You know, it's a place where you can be yourself, you know? It's really one of those places. I appreciate that. You know, it's a lot of unique people out here. You know, that's the whole reason why I got caught up in doing a lot of shit, man, back home, because I was trying to be everybody else, man. I was trying to be shit that I wasn't. You feel me? Trying to keep up an image, because LA make you want to keep an image up. Like everybody, like an actor, a model, anything out there, everybody's doing something big. Like even the homeless motherfuckers have agents, you know what I mean? They got major plans. They're not like these San Francisco homeless people. They got goals. Give a motherfucker a couple of dollars, like, man, why you always on this corner? Well, my agent said if I stand here on Wilshire, I'll get more exposure and hopefully maybe I can be in The Wire next month. Like, really? Well, I'll be back. I'm posting up with you.
You know what I'm saying? That's LA to me, man. Feeling like a boss, you know? Feeling like a boss. You know what I'm saying? And I miss that. San Francisco's so small in that aspect. You really can't just hop on the freeway and still be in LA 45 minutes later. Venice Beach, chilling. You know what I mean? Santa Monica Airport, man. You ever been there? Oh, God, Typhoon, the greatest fucking Thai food place there. Fusion Thai, they got the authentic Japanese sushi place upstairs. You know, you sit out there and you it's a private airport, but the restaurants are open to the public. You know, I would go out there sometimes, take a blunt, take a chick from the hood, take her out. You know what I'm saying? Field trip time, baby. I'm about to teach you how to use chopsticks. You know what I'm saying? And we would ride out and, you know, we're eating sushi, you know what I'm saying? Nigiri, drinking Asahi beer, you know what I'm saying? Sake bombs, you know, seaweed salad, culture, sitting here watching these motherfuckers land planes. And they say Travolta has a plane there. You see these private jets just land and take off right in front of you. And it's just, at that moment, man, it's the motherfucking life. You know, but I'm not a boss yet. I spent my whole 20s feeling like a boss and neglecting my responsibilities. So, you know, I can't wait to get back so I can really do it big. Really do it big.
But I never worked in my marriage, man, and I think that's kind of like I didn't realize like in relationships, like you had to like have certain things to have a healthy relationship. Like finances. I didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? I just thought like showing up with a nice haircut would do, you know what I mean? Like I bring the swag, you bring the cash, we even. That's how our relationship is working. But like over the time, man, like I realized like when you're a hustler, like you can kind of like lead your woman on for a while. Because she's gonna wait for that imaginary payday, you know what I mean? She's thinking that some big payday is gonna come. It's on the way. Something's gonna work eventually for this nigga. But like 8 years passed and you know, no dollars came in. And she started coming home mad as a motherfucker. Like, what are you doing for work? And I'm like, I'm hustling. She's like, what are you hustling? And I'm like, you! This is the family business. I'm on your benefits. I'm driving your car, the company car. Like, get your ass in there and feed those little employees we got running around. Before they fuck around and start a kitty union on your ass. I can't hold them back that long. I started using like every excuse in the book not to work either too, man. I remember when 9/11 hit, I just got ridiculous with the shit. You know what I'm saying? She was like, how come you don't get a job? And I'm like, cause I'm man in the home front. Who's gonna protect the house when Al-Qaeda comes? Yo, man. That dude on the side of your mama's house right now smoking a blunt. Waiting for those oatmeal cookies to get finished so me and your mama can watch the soaps. When you get home, I'll give you the recap of what happened on Passions. Let you know what's going on. It was fucked up, man. I was the worst husband in the world, man. I did it for the wrong reasons, too. Like, I was a player, man. I just couldn't, like, commit to one woman. I don't know how brothers do it, but if you do it, like, clap it up for yourselves if you're in a monogamous, healthy relationship. You in one, brother? You see how I was just trying to get the in on that. She tight, she see the hairline. Yeah, I am trying to. Nah, but if you can do it though, man, like more props to you, man. You know, I can't do this shit, man. I can't do it. You know, it doesn't make sense to me personally. I want to be free. You know, I really do. And the crazy part about this shit, man, is like, I did it for the wrong reasons, man. Like, I got married really so I can have like some consistent barebacking.
Yeah, I love barebacking. Fuck AIDS for fucking up that. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest art forms of all time.
Like for real, like fellas, you know you got a rotation, you gotta have that one that you fuck without a condom. Like that's the one you love, right? Isn't that where the love is? In the exchange, you get the juices? Huh? No? When you wear a condom, you throw that love away, nigga, you flushing that love. You didn't feel that? That magnum is smiling on its way down. You didn't feel that love. You gotta have that one that you can exchange juices with. You know? And that's why I got married. Fuck that. Cause I'm gonna tell you, man, like after a long day of having like sex, wearing a condom with multiple women, there's nothing like coming home and barebacking your wife, man. Nothing like it, fellas. Hands down, the greatest experience of all time. I highly recommend it. Nah, that shit ain't crazy, man. That shit is real, man. That shit is real, man. Cause you know what it is with relationships? I'm gonna tell you what it really is. The thing that gets fucked up, like when you're intimate, when you get intimate, it gets fucked up. Am I right? Like when you just meet a woman, it's all good. You're talking to her about your goals, she's feeling you, everything is righteous, she's on your team, she's into you, you smart, you handsome, you all that shit. Then the minute you have sex with her, the lines just cross, right? Like her whole tone changes, right? She starts talking to you all crazy. That's how my wife did me, and I'm like, hold the fuck on. Just because you know what my balls look like doesn't give you any excuse to be talking to me like that, you feel me? Just because a nigga maybe had 1 or 2 skid marks in the last 10 years? Now all of a sudden I ain't shit? Really? I told you not to buy me those boxer briefs anyway, bitches. That was a setup. She set me up. She just wanted to see a legend have a streak. You know what I mean? Jordan market that shit. He don't even wear that shit. I got too much ass for boxer briefs. What the fuck I look like? Like a buff-ass slave wearing a pamper or some shit. Really? Boxer briefs? What the fuck, man?
When you come from a small town and your name is out there and you're known for having the baddest bitches, you know what I'm saying? You're known for being a player, you're known for being funny, you're known for being crazy. Over time, people in that town tend to believe that they know you. They get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? They get too comfortable because they see you all the time. So every now and again, it's important and imperative for you to step out of that box, reinvent yourself, come back and blow everybody's motherfucking mind who thought they knew you. They just knew a piece of me. You just knew me in 3rd grade, homie. You just knew me at prom, nigga. You don't really know me. You know what I'm saying? You just know the nigga that drove the, you know what I'm saying, Chevy Novus green peanut butter guts. That's all you knew. You know what I mean? You didn't know me.
I remember when I first got recruited for this shit, y'all. It was amazing. I was walking down the street with my girlfriend at the time in the hood. That's a little like Puerto Rican, Native American chick. She was dime piece, you feel me? We walking, and then the homie pulls around the corner, and he like, hey man, I like your style. I see you got you a proper bitch. And your hairline is immaculate, homie. So what I'm saying is this, cuz. Why don't you meet us up at the park this Sunday? So I go up at the park on Sunday, and it's a Crip Nick. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a Crip Nick. It's a picnic for Crips. Like real shit. Like you see real killers with blue rags cooking ribs and shit. They got activities for the kids. Pin the blue rag on the donkey. Like a real Crip Nick. So I show up, right, with the homie, and I show up, and I'm like, okay, what's up, man? And he like, listen, dude, you know, I want you to take on my name. I want you to represent. I want you to be my little homie. I'm like, all right, for sure, man, that's what's up. So then all these dudes start surrounding me, right? And I'm looking around, I'm like, shit, okay, all right. Guess they celebrating for me. I guess I'm gonna meet my new family. And this one dude, like, he's like, yeah, cuz, we're gonna have to fuck you up. And this dude looked crazy, right? Like a black orc with a curl. Like real mean looking, you know what I mean? And I'm like, shit, man, I don't know if I can handle this. And my big homie, he was on the other side of the park and he saw what was happening and he ran over there and he was like, listen, y'all hold on for a second, man, hold on for a second. Let me talk to him for a minute. So I'm like, whew, what's the fuck I'm talking about? I'm like, what's up, man? He like, listen, man, You ain't got to get put on, man. I ain't let these Jews, you know what I'm saying, initiate you. I'm like, nah, man, I'll fight, you know what I'm saying? I'll fight these niggas. I ain't tripping. He like, listen, man, between me and you, we only beat up the dumb, ugly motherfuckers.
I had plans to be an entertainer. I didn't know what kind of entertainer I wanted to be, but subconsciously I had always been a character. You know what I'm saying? I always had the limelight, always can be the center of attention. I never wanted to be, but it was just something that gravitated towards me. I had a way with words, with talking to people. It didn't matter what race, what culture, what nationality, what social class you came from. I could break you down, charm you, and make you laugh.
That's gonna lead me to my next joke, man. I heard this crazy conversation, right? On Immunity, man, a couple of weeks ago, man. These two white dudes, they was comparing and contrasting Barack Obama to Bill Clinton. And one of them was like, man, I hope Barack doesn't do no stupid shit, like get his dick sucked in the White House. And I started laughing and shit, because I thought this shit was kind of funny, right? But I was laughing for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because my logic is this, like, Barack was raised by a white mother. So like all through elementary school, junior high school, grad school, he grew up around a lot of white girls. So safe to say, Barack's dick is tired of getting sucked. That's why he married a black woman. Because black women don't suck your dick. Maybe on your birthday. And that's if you have a job, nigga. And that might even be at your retirement party of 25 years at UPS. You finally get some head and diabetes. It pays off to be smart, man. Fuck that, man. It pays off. Smart is the new gangster, I heard. Smart is the new gangster. That's what they saying, man. But gay isn't the new black. I can't believe that one just yet, y'all. I can't go for that. There was an article that said gay is the new black. I love gay people. I got a gay cousin. We'll get to him. But gay isn't the new black, man. Because black people been through all kind of things, man. We've been through all kind of struggles. You feel me? We had our fair share of bullshit to deal with. You know, in order for gay to be the new black, they got to go through some shit. Like black people, we went through slavery. We was traded for sugar and goods. You feel me? Sugar and goods for slave labor. Come on, man. Let's just say, like, that shit would never happen in the gay community. Could you imagine, like, the slave traders went to the Castro, trying to get some gay slave labor with sugar? And they went to the gay chief. They're like, listen, man, let's get some of this labor for this sugar. Gay chief would have been like, ooh, boo, it's sweet enough here. I broke it down, though, man. I was breaking down, like, my situation, like, why I have this post-traumatic slave syndrome, and why I'm dealing with this whole black thing, and why I am so rebellious. And I figured it out, like, I'm just rebellious by nature. Because, like, when black people came to this country, we were slaves, and we were rebelling against that shit, fighting for our freedom. You feel me? Then once we got our freedom, we had to fight for other rights, like the right to read and write, the right to vote. I was doing some research, and I heard in 1833, there was laws that said if you teach a black person how to read and write, you'll get 39 lashes and 2 years in prison. Do you know how gangster your teacher would have to be? I'm not taking no lashes to teach my daughter how to read. Fuck that. We'll just hum and shit. That's how we shop in the grocery store. Just hum and point.
When I graduated college in 3 years, I went to Fresno State. Coming out of high school, and you know, everybody has their plans and whatnot. I thought I was gonna be a lawyer. I did a few internships with the city prosecutor in Pasadena. You know, I majored in philosophy. Me and my roommate were the first 2 African Americans to ever get philosophy degrees in the history of Fresno State. And this is in 1998. So imagine what we were going through in class with a majority white man who, you know, I'm drawing comparisons to what Nietzsche did to the homies in the hood and shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm drawing from life though, which made for great, interesting conversation, but that experience allowed me to feel secure in presenting my opinion. I never felt less than, I felt entitled.
Fuck that, I'm not getting no lashes, I keloid. I get no pussy with keloid lashes. I never worked a job in my marriage, y'all. I never did, man. I was a hustler, man. I was one of those dudes, you know, I went to college not for a job. No, I majored in philosophy. Obviously, I'm not getting any work. No one's hiring philosophers, you know what I mean? I just wanted to come back and like rationalize all the bullshit I was gonna do when I got back to the set. Like, I'm gonna outthink these niggas.
I went to college and I got a taste of shit that I wasn't able to get in my hood. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to hang out with different races, you know what I'm saying? Be exposed to different people, fuck different bitches, you know what I'm saying? From different places. You know, it's like, that was my thing. I had that hunger. I went to Georgia. I was on my way. I was gonna shoot up the East Coast. I had plans, but then I came back to where I was from. And my high school sweetheart at the time had gotten pregnant over the summer. You know how it is, you dip in, you know, summer break on your way out, you know. I didn't know she'd get pregnant, but it happened. And I think for anybody, you know what I'm saying, out there, if you're pursuing something, don't go back until you become who you are. You know what I mean? Because if you go back, you might not make it out. It took a drastic change for me to say, fuck it, I'm gonna go push up to San Francisco, not knowing where I'm gonna get a job, not knowing where I'm gonna sleep at, you know what I'm saying, sleeping on my uncle's floor, surrounded by boxes, you know what I'm saying, eating every other day, struggling, real artist life, sleeping in my motherfucking car. I done did that, you know what I'm saying? I done ate a slice of pizza once every 3 days, you feel me? I done fuck for food, you feel me? I mean, I find myself doing shit like, damn, I really don't like this bitch, but she got a sleep number and extra cheese naan bread. I need that, you know, so, you know, I've made sacrifices, and what it has done for me, it's made me foam at the mouth, man. Just hungry, you know, and I'm hungry on stage. I'm not comfortable. The Ice House isn't around the corner. The Comedy Store isn't a 15-minute drive on the freeway. Nah, this shit is right here, right now to get. I'm starving. I need all this stage time. Doing killer sets for 15, 20 bucks, taking a major pay cut. Because I know right now, it's all about my catalog, baby. It's about my catalog. You know what I'm saying? Build this big ass catalog up. Right now, take advantage of all this stage time, build a product, and then take that shit to the world. It was about escaping, man. You know, and I feel an obligation, man, for everybody in my neighborhood who doesn't believe or doesn't have the vision. Because there's a lot of cats that believe, but they just can't see it. You know, it's like a maze. Every neighborhood is a maze. It doesn't matter if it's an impoverished neighborhood or a neighborhood of privilege. Everyone wants to get out of what they're fucking born into because it's the same mundane shit. But there's a way you have to weave your way out of that. Escape from LA, man, was for me, man, it was a coming out. It was all that work. It was everything I fought for. It was the reason I moved. It was everything, you know what I'm saying? I moved, you know, 7 months before I dropped that. And the previous months before that, I had fought so hard on the San Francisco comedy scene to establish myself as a voice, as someone who was headline worthy. You know, it took a minute, you know? It took a minute coming from Los Angeles, you know? People out here already don't like LA, you know what I'm saying? So I fought so hard, man, and luckily for me, man, things worked out. You know, the doors, I came with an intensity. You ever come to a fight over-prepared, and then you realize, like, okay, I was over-prepared for this fight. Like, they're not even tripping. I'm cool. They're welcoming me in. You know, and San Francisco comedy welcomed me. And I didn't expect that. Coming from Los Angeles, a place where you got to click up to, you know, you got to get in to fit in. You know, out here, it's kind of like, hey, if you're talented, come on in. And that was a shocker to me. So I was able to get so much stage time. And my whole set, you know, I was talking about, I cleansed myself. Escape from LA was talking about my family, you know what I'm saying, my experience with my ex-wife. I mean, just putting my shit out there, living at my mom's house, you know what I'm saying, growing up as a teenager, gangbanging, element, you know what I'm saying, junior high school, the effects of that shit even after, you know what I mean, just dealing with history and that, and seeing people dying, and you know, evolving. You know, Escape from LA was all about bouncing and getting your freedom and claiming your life, you know, claiming your life. And it was me taking a stand. You know, I grew up in a neighborhood where a lot of cats seem to, somehow, some way, they're living to die. You know, everybody's living to die, you know, and I'm dying to live. That's what I'm talking about on this DVD, on this album. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about cocaine abuse, why I was using cocaine, how I kicked cocaine, what using cocaine did for me, the positive things that came out of this shit. Because, you know, there's a lesson in everything. You know what I'm saying? What going through marriage did for me. You know what I'm saying? Having your heart broke after you cheated on a woman for 13 years straight. You know, is that logical? I don't understand why I'm hurt. You know what I'm saying? Why am I hurt right now? You know, I only spent like 10 faithful days, you know, not in a row, you know? So, you know, those emotions, that confusion. It was therapeutic. I'm gonna tell you something. When I finished Escape from LA, I was no longer mad at my ex-wife. I was 100% content with where I was and where I was headed. I didn't have any resentment for where I grew up. I wasn't mad at myself for being a cocaine addict. Still a cocaine addict. You know what I'm saying? I'm sober, but you know, there's still that chance. You know, if Denise Richards walks in, this motherfucker with Jessica Alba and the 8-ball, I mean, turn the camera off. But it was a way for me on Escape from LA to expunge my weaknesses, to expose my weaknesses, to show the humane side of me, to show that I am just a human, and to cash in on my failures. And it's okay. I freed myself. I'm ego free. You know, it was Escape from LA was all about dropping the ego. You know, trying to be who I was and what I thought I was. So I'm ego free now, and that's a good thing.
Ha! It's Friday the 13th. I'm feeling real lucky right now. It's number 15, Daily Dose. We gonna keep it 100 on this one. I mean, all I can speak on is what I know and what I see, how I am in this world. And sometimes you just gotta be happy with what you got and where you are. So this is for y'all. Let's go. This is alright. If you ain't got it all together now, it's gonna get better now, right? I know some people seem like they living the life, but that don't make it better than mine, dog. What's real? What's the deal? How you feel? Let's go. What you know? Let's steal. We gon' get it up. Already got it. I'm fresh how I am, and money can't buy that. Yeah, I know what it feel like. Sometimes it be like we ain't got nothing. And where is the substance of life? They teaching us how to be a player and how to be divas. But what about husbands and wives? It's cool to be ballin', but what if you just getting by now? Is that a problem? I got a pair of brand new Nikes in my closet, but I ain't got no Gucci, Louis, none of that flossing. But still hold my head high when I be walking. And if I see a fly girl, then I be talking. But if she don't like me, for me, I'm better off then. Plus I don't be tripping off hoes, I don't be farming. That's H-O-E, no need for alarming. I don't mean no disrespect, I'm just the opposite. A rapper that's positive, and plus he honest, and plus he knocking. I'ma give him that option, I'ma give him that. Cause it's alright, if you ain't got it all together now, it's gonna get better now, right? I know some people seem like they living the life, but that don't make it better than mine, no. What's real, what's the deal, how you feel? Let's go, what you know, let's spill. We gon' get it up, already got it. I'm fresh how I am, and money can't buy that. Yeah, now if I ain't in VIP, or I ain't popping by